Hello everyone, welcome back to Kirklees Guitar School. So today we're going to have a look at the solo for Don't Stop Believin by Journey. It's got some cool little bends in it and a sort of like fast picked part at the beginning. Let's have a look. So, this is what we're up against. Forgive me, it is a little bit squeezed together, but I wasn't going to get it all in otherwise. So we've got this fast song. So it is a bit squeaky. I've tried my best with the audio. It is a little bit squeaky because it's so high up, but if you're playing this with a backing track or with a band, it won't sound as shrill, but you do need plenty of treble to make it cut through. So let's have a look at the beginning of this. So here you see we've got this actually starts before the solo. It's like that run up that he's doing. So it's like a 3-note per string thing. We're going to do 13, 14 and 16 on the G, and I'm using index, middle and ring for that. Because the frets are so squashed together, I can get away with using my sort of 3 dominant fingers for this one. So down, up, and this is alternate picking all the way through this phrase. I'm then going to move to the B string and I'm going to go 14, 16, 17. So I want you to bear in mind that it's 13, 14, 16 and then 13, 16, 17. Sometimes when I was first learning this, that 16, I'd play a 15 by mistake thinking it was the same shape. It's not. It's fret 1, fret 2, fret 4, fret 1, fret 3, fret 4. If that makes sense, that's how I think about it. And then you're going to finish with the index finger on the 14th fret of the high E string before the memorable part of the solo. And you just need to get through that as quick as you possibly can. And then ring finger on the 16th fret, and we're going to bend it up a semitone. We're going to bend that 16 so much so that it sounds like a 17, and then we're going to bring it back down. So we're here now. We're going to bend that 16 and then bring it back down and play the 16 by itself. Now don't overbend that 16, otherwise it won't sound right. We don't want that, we want. And again, anytime that I'm playing guitar, and I'm going to tell you to do the same, anytime I'm playing guitar and I get a spare minute, I'm putting as much vibrato on any gaps as possible. I'm then going to go up to the 14th fret of the same string, and then repeat that 16. So you see how we bend the 16, natural 16, 14 with the index finger, and then we just repeat the same motion. 16 with the bend that's a semitone, back to the 16, and you can see the tie there. That's going to spill over into the next bar. So let me play that again for you. Take a screenshot if you need to. If not, we're going to have a look at the next bit, which we're going to bend that 16 again, but then we're going to come back to the 14. We bend the 16 up the semitone again, but we're going to maintain the pressure and then bring it back down. And that's index, ring finger and index. Then I'm going to play 17 with the ring finger, 16 with the middle finger. Back to the 17, and then 14 with the index. That stopping here. Get that bit under your fingers because that's like a little bit of a sequenced part before you go on to the next bit. So now would be a good time to pause. And then you can see here I'm putting the last bit of the phrase on, which is 16 to 14 with the ring finger and then the index finger. Maintain an alternate picking throughout. So that slap bang in the middle before this bend on the 16 will be a good place to get that under your fingers before you proceed with the next bit. So pause if you need to. Then we're going to bend that 16. Can you see how this is oddly reminiscent of the previous slide? We've done this before. Bend the 16 with the ring finger, bring it back down. This note is called a tie. So when you've got that note in brackets, it means that that note is sustaining long enough that it spills over into the next bar. You don't need to pick that note. You need to just let it ring out a little bit. 14 with the index finger, bend with the ring finger, and then back to the 16. I'm going to play from here. Let me play the whole slide before we move on. Take a screenshot if you need to, or pause the video. If not, let's move on to the very last bit. So that 14 is with the index finger, and that bolts on to the previous link. We're then going to play, we're going to do a slight position shift up a fret to 17 with the ring finger on the B string. We're then going to bend the 17 on the high E string up a full tone. And when we're bending up so far up the neck, don't be afraid to give it some stick. We're then going to go to fret 21 and do exactly the same. Again, ring finger and middle finger. And then we're going to go up to 22. So you've 3 really big bends, one after another. Now there are there's some harmonies on the record which kind of make that sound a lot bigger than it is. If you're playing along to the record, it will sound awesome. When I've had to play this on gigs and in sort of like function situations, I obviously don't have another guitar player, so that's what I'll play there. I'll go, and I will let that note ring out while the rest of the band do the, while they go into that next part. So take a screenshot if you need to. If not, that's the whole shebang. So just a reminder. I hope that was helpful. Go back and work on any of the bits that you feel need work. My only advice to you is really dig in on those bends, and that 22nd fret at the top of this guitar, my finger is twice the width of that fret, so it's a good practice in itself to sort of get up to the dusty end. If you've got any recommendations for stuff that you'd like me to do, I make at least 2 guitar lessons a week on the channel, and I'm always looking for ideas. So if you've got some ideas or any sort of things that you'd like me to do in these lessons, please let me know. I'll see you next week. Thank you very much.